Welcome back to the Shepherd's Podcast. My name's Daniel, a.k.a. co-host number 2, and we're excited that you're listening today. We're going to go down to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where Pastor Jerry Madden was invited by Pastor Jamie Barfield of the Palmetto Pointe Church to sit in on their podcast. So we thought we would just take that video and we would make it available for you guys to see. We're going to split it up into 2 parts, but I do want to mention we kind of had a little bit of an issue on the video. On the master, it was messed up just a little bit. So you'll notice on the video screen, it's kind of a little bit blurry, but you know what? It's okay. The audio is great. I know you guys are going to enjoy it. Take 2 seconds at the end of this video, go over to theshepherdsgathering.com and register for our upcoming Shepherds Gathering Conference on April 27, 28, 29. Hope you guys enjoy, and take it off to Pastor Jamie and Pastor Jerry in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Five Guys time! Yum, yum!
Here we
Shepherd's Podcast with the Jerry Madden and co-host.
No, I left them at home. Co-hosts are at home. It's just me and you, big
Daniel,
boy.
Just me and you.
And I'm sitting in the chair.
The chair that Mark Williams sat in.
Mark Williams sat in.
Sometimes I just sit in it and just wiggle around.
So I'm going to tell you a story. Do I need to tell the story now?
Go, yeah.
So I heard T.D. Jakes preach at Ron Carpenter's church.
Okay.
When Ron, when it was redemption before he sold it, made $20 million. But you don't want me to go there.
No.
So I heard Jakes preach. And Carpenter, when he was introducing, he said, last time Bishop Jakes was here, service was over, he used my shower. I guess he has a shower in his office area, and he said he used my shower, and he said after he left, I went into the shower and just rubbed myself all over the water. He's telling that. I'm like, I might understand doing that. I sure wouldn't told nobody I'd done it.
It's like whenever the MIP candidates, they go and they sit in the overseer's seat.
Oh, general overseer. Yeah.
General overseer's seat, and they just rub all over his desk, hoping the impartation.
Never knowing he's never there.
Right.
It's just a chair. Go ahead.
So you have in your in this season of your life, okay, yeah. I was on the council with you maybe 2021-ish, where I felt like you were on the council of 18, we were on the state council together, right. And it felt like you just kind of hit this place in your ministry where you were like, I'm just going to be open and honest about some stuff. Do you feel that shift happened, or has this always been you?
Oh, I think it's always been me.
Okay.
I get a little bit of it from my mother. Mm-hmm. She'll say whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I say it's always been. It hasn't. When you're first elected to these boards or whatever, you go in. You kind of got to feel your way into the room, and where do you fit, and all of that. But then, and in time, you feel comfortable. You get your voice, and you feel comfortable with your voice. So, I became pastor at Praise January 1st of 2002.
Okay.
And so next January to be 25 years. And so, yeah, probably in the late teens, I kind of felt a little more comfortable with speaking up and sharing. Yeah. But you also get to the point you realize if you don't say something, nobody else.
It's the truth. Serving on the council with you, I've said this about you all the time. There would be conversations where everybody would just look to you, and you helped to lead and guide. I love Brother Bruce Raven. He was amazing. He was great to me. He gave me opportunities that I didn't deserve. Sure. Love him to death. But there were moments in the room where you were by proxy just because of the church that you pastored, the place that you were in life. You were the leader you were the chairman of the state council, but you were the leader in the room, and all eyes would turn to you in certain situations. And your voice was so prominent in the room, you would say, guys, this is the direction we need to go.
It's not anything you try, or it's certainly not anything I try to do. I certainly don't try to monopolize the room or anything
never felt like that either. Yeah.
But to him, much is given, much is expected, much is required, Jesus said.
Yeah.
And we have state council meeting today. This podcast is recorded after a state council meeting. And I prayed this morning, Lord, don't let me say anything.
Did it work?
No. But Sinclair Ferguson, I read something. He pastored Presbyterian Church in Columbia for years. Just a great preacher and speaker, and I'm a Presbyterian, so bring me up on charges. but he wrote a book about the upper room, not the Pentecostal upper room, but the upper room where Jesus has communion, Last Supper.
Yeah.
And he talked about Judas. He talked about at the beginning of the chapter regarding Judas' betrayal. It begins telling you that Jesus is troubled. Jesus was troubled in his spirit. He goes through and serves the Lord's Supper, gives Judas the bread, and somewhere in that chapter he tells Judas, what you're going to do, go do it. You know, what he's put in your heart, go do it quickly. And Judas leaves the room. And then it says, and the Lord felt glory in his spirit. And he brings up the point that in every room we go into, we either make the room better because we're there or better because we leave.
Ooh.
Not just the room is either better because we are there or the room is better because we leave. And that's one of those things I just wrote down and praying about today. Lord, let the room be better because I'm there. Don't let me be that guy that people wish I would leave.
Yeah. Because you'll have some hard decisions on your plate. We dealt with them prior to. So I was on the council for a couple years, and then you were not on during
then I
that
left
time.
And you stayed on.
And I stayed on, right. And so then now we're on the kind of the opposite end of that where you're on and I'm...
We're out of sync.
Right, we're out of sync. So here in this season, we kind of fought some battles to get us to where we are, and now y'all have some tough decisions, both personnel-wise, property-wise, all the things, PD's pool... You know, PD does have a pool.
I've heard that.
You know, so you have some.
I've heard that's all they have.
That is all they have. Y'all have some tough decisions coming up. Latest update on tough decisions?
We met today, and so we have a committee being put together to formulate the presentation to the ministers that we hope to make this summer.
Who's on the committee?
I don't know yet. The letter hadn't gone out. Let me backstep a little bit.
Sure.
South Carolina is at a point that we have to make some decisions.
Have to make some hard decisions.
And you know this. Our denomination is a kick the can down the road denomination. Right. We elect people, and we limit them as soon as we elect them.
Crazy.
You can serve for 2 years, 4 years. So who wants to embark on a major project that they're probably not going to get to see finished?
Right.
And so our leaders tend to, what do I need to do to get through my 2-4 years?
Because our project manager told us when he put the presentation together, he said you're looking at 10 to 20 years to finalize all of this. From point A to finalize.
Yep.
We don't even have a process to where an overseer could stay that long.
Well, you won't have a council stay that long. All the faces will be different.
Gone.
So what that has brought us to, and it's not anybody's fault.
Right.
It's the system. It's systemic to our organization. What it's brought us to is decisions that needed to be made 10, 12, 20 years ago were not made.
Yep.
And so now we have as a state very deteriorated properties that it would cost more to fix them.
Yeah.
Than it would be worth.
Yeah.
I mean, we would be throwing, and we talked about PD. The PD estimate right now is over $1 million
to fix,
to get it back. To being PD, an older property. Same thing in Malden, $1 million plus to get it back to being property that's 50, 60 years old and. Then it's going to need how many more millions to renovate and upgrade. So all that's because decisions have just been pushed down the road. But we're at a point that I think there's a great opportunity for us to make some decisions for the future. Here's the other thing we've done historically, in my opinion. Our budget, and you were on finance and budget with me, the state budget is enslaved to the decisions of the past.
No doubt.
When you know, United States government, I think 89% of the annual budget is already spent.
Wow.
Based on commitments of previous Congresses, et cetera. When we go into the state budget review, we're already committed.
That's right.
Most of that money is already committed. We're committed to personnel. We have to have, we have 3 state directors. I don't know. We have to.
I love it. Here we go.
And that's not anything personal about anybody.
No, for sure.
It's organizational.
Totally get it.
It's organizational.
But you and I both grew up in a denomination on a state level. Your brother is a part of this process. Wasn't your dad in this?
My dad was evangelism director, and my dad was home for children superintendent.
So you know the system.
Sure.
And what is happening in today's culture is not the same system that we needed from 50 years ago. It's a different world.
It's a different world. One of the things we're going to talk about in this meeting is just a reality that my dad was state home for children superintendent for over 10 years. That's a different world today.
It's a different world.
That's a different world. I get why those decisions were made in the 1960s.
Right.
We're 60 years away from that. Mm-hmm. We have to take a look at who we are today. Talking about the budget, we go into that budget and most of it is already committed to decisions that were made 50, 60 years ago. So if there was an opportunity to do new ministry today, we can't do it because we don't have, I'm sorry, the budget's already committed to, 50 years ago we bought 2 properties. So you were on the finance committee with me, and 30% of the state budget's already committed to keeping up 2 properties going out the door that you only use 28 days a year. And I know we have very sentimental.
Yeah,
we're tied to them
doubt.
heartstrings.
No doubt.
But let's consider what we're not doing. What would a budget be like that operated from vision for the future, not from obligation to the past?
And you and I both have a crazy amazing property. How many acres you have?
58.
58 acres and facilities and homes, a retirement community almost. I don't know, is that what y'all call it? A retirement community?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Your property is amazing. And you and I both know, having the facilities that we do, that you are constantly, every single day, you have somebody going around painting something, fixing something, changing something, upgrading something.
It costs money.
Every single day.
It costs money.
And if you wait till the week before camp meeting or the week before youth camp to try to get a property updated, you're just going to say, well, we can't do that this year. We'll tackle it in August. You're never coming back to tackle that in August because you're not going to see it till the next year at youth camp. And so it's just happened at our properties after year after year after year.
And all this ties together because you and I, we see our property every day. And we're here for the long term. Right. And we say, we got to get this, we need to do that. But someone who's only going to be here 2 or 4 years on a state level comes in and sees, the property's kind of going down, but I'll be out of here.
Right.
I don't know if I want to.
Don't ruffle any feathers.
I don't want to embark on a $500,000 project.
Right.
Or I'll tell you, and I say it costs money. Last year we renovated the interior of our sanctuary. Right. I don't know if you've been in yet.
I haven't.
Right at $1 million. Just it costs what it costs. So last weekend I meet with my council and we've done the inside. Now we got to go outside because the parking lots are old, and so we're looking at another $500,000-$600,000 that we approved to. That's what you have to do
constantly. It
costs money, and the more property you have, the more it costs. And so when you look at state properties, we're at a point now that we can't catch up. It got so far behind. You know this. We got so far behind on things that should have been fixed, and we're kicked down.
No possible way to catch up.
Well,
I mean,
unless we don't have the money.
A millionaire walks in and says, "Here goes $7 million, $8 million. We could catch up then." But
you could get them back to being old buildings.
apart from that. No. There's no possible way.
No.
We don't have the influx of capital to be able to make that a reality.
And as you and I talk right now, year to date, tithe giving's down a little bit. So no, there's not the money that we have in reserve. 25% of it by General Assembly minutes we can't touch because it was from the sale of a property, and it can only be used to plant new churches. Can't be used for state property.
Which you and I were on that council that
Yeah.
Put that in a separate fund here. Let's earmark it.
The interest can be used,
right.
but the principal has to stay here, only be used to plant new churches or to aid struggling churches. Mm-hmm. That's it, according to the minutes. The other 75%, we are on the hook for a lot of mortgages across the state. Mm-hmm. We are co-signers or the names behind, and we have to have in reserve the money to cover that mortgage in case church doesn't. So no, there's no cash. There's no Fort Knox at the state level. And I don't think these decisions are as hard as we're making them.
It's the heartstring.
It's the heartstring.
Yeah. If we're not touching retired ministers, we're going to leave them there.
No, never. And we're not going to touch the residences at Malden.
Right. We're leaving
them off the table. We're in agreement with them, and we're not going to break that agreement.
Right.
And I wouldn't vote for breaking that agreement.
Agree completely.
But we even threw it out today. If we move forward with the sale of properties, and I won't get into details, but on both ends of the state, how about it, everybody? Yeah. If we move forward with that, we could net enough to just live to the budget. The state budget will be covered by the interest from the sale of those properties. And then you can take the state money and have a vision to do things you've never been able to do before. And we just threw this out in the room. Every pastor in that room has at least one person, most of us multiple people in their church, who are struggling with drug issues. Mm-hmm. You probably got it.
Absolutely.
And the sad part is I have to farm them out to other rehabs because we don't have anything.
You're right.
Pennsylvania, Peniel. And we got preachers' kids who are struggling with drugs, and we have to farm them out to secular rehabs, many of them that are very good, but still. We could have a state Church of God rehab center somewhere that we send our people to. Man, wouldn't that be phenomenal?
But right now you can't have vision because you have no money to
money to do it.
You have no ability to dream at all right now.
No, because you're enslaved to the budget of the past
and
the decisions of the past.
People think that, hey, one of the ideas that were very popular at the meeting that we were at, the state ministers meeting, they said something to the effect of, hey, we know enough guys in the state that could come and fix.
That's
and it's it being in the room, it's laughable because we know the AC unit alone.
Yeah.
That there's like 7 of them that have to be changed because we went from electric to gas and now we've got to do XYZ.
Hundreds of thousands.
And it was like $500,000, I think, once you got to all of, and like we don't have that. Like that, guys.
It's just not there.
Just that one. It's just AC units that we don't have.
Going back to when I first went on the council, which I think was 2004, it might have been 2006, somewhere in there. And the first issue I remember coming up on campgrounds was mold in the underneath the tabernacle, east tab, west tab, there was mold. And the solutions were always this. I got a guy in my church.
I got a guy.
I know a guy. And we went with that because it was cheap. And guess what? For 25 years, we've been fixing mold underneath the tabernacle.
Is it still there?
It will be next when we go into youth camp.
Because the last time when I came off the council, we did a thing where we did the big humidifiers and all that. It was going away.
But again, you go back to the tabernacle, which used to be this building, and then we added to it, and the foundation never was added to, and you have walls between walls. Water will always find a way to get through, and so, it's always there.
It's a mess.
Yeah, but hopefully we can see the reality of the opportunity. I think we should see this. We got a real opportunity to be able to do something positive for our children. For you. You're a young guy, but 10 years from now, I'll probably be sailing somewhere. But for my sons and my grandchildren, the Church of God will have an opportunity to be doing real ministry in that day, not enslaved to decisions that I may or may not have wanted to make. That because they were hard, because they were emotional. Yeah. Hey, I love the campground too. I spent my dad was on the youth board, and we were at all the youth camps. We didn't go to one; we went to all of them. Yeah. I worked in the cafeteria with the Kilmans, and that's just part of my life. But you don't keep it alive just because of what it was.
Yeah.
When we built the sanctuary we're in now at Praise Cathedral, beside it we had what we called the old sanctuary. Okay, current sanctuary seats about 1,800. The old sanctuary would seat about 800.
Which is what, the children's facility or the youth facility?
It is now.
The children's facility now?
Facility.
Okay, interesting.
As the church grew, the children grew as well. But for years, we didn't do anything with it. I mean, it was a beautiful facility. Mm-hmm. Had these arches across the ceiling, natural wood color, rock in the choir. It was a beautiful facility. But it sat empty because nobody wanted to do what needed to be done, which is our children's church is overflowing and we need to do some modern contemporary things. And so we did go in there, and I remember we painted the ceiling black. Oh, Lord. You would have thought, the abomination. And I had a former general overseer who's with the Lord now. Well, if he's saved, he's with the Lord. I don't know. He wasn't a general overseer, he was state overseer, former state overseer. And he just came in and let me have it, that we had desecrated that building and turned it into a children's building and a youth building. And we had these pictures up. And,
I wonder what he thought when you added the big playground inside of it and the slides and all that.
I don't know. But I couldn't just leave it empty because somebody's funeral was in there 10 years ago, or somebody's wedding was in there 15 years ago. It's what you have. You got to use all you have.
God has called you to be a good steward.
Yeah, sure.
You have property, you got to be a good steward of the property you've been given.
And sometimes being a good steward of the property means, hey, we need to let this property go and take the profit and use it for the kingdom.
That's right.
So that's where the state is. We have to make the decision.
And the last time I feel like the council I wasn't in the room, but whenever y'all came out, it felt like maybe the council wasn't even on the same page with the direction y'all wanted to go. Do you feel like the council's on the same page now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think we've always been on the same page.
Same page.
I think the question's been how to get there.
How to get there, right? Yeah, that's a better way to phrase it.
How do we get there? And you're all. I think once everybody agreed, we're not going to do anything with the residents. We're not going to add more residents.
Right.
But the people we are in an agreement with, we have to honor that agreement.
Yeah.
I think once we understood that, then we could find a path forward into the other segments of it. And you're a PD guy. I'm in the upstate. Let me just mention this. My dad did pastor the Bennettsville Church of God, and I lived in Bennettsville for over 2 years. So I know what I had my tonsils out at McLeod Hospital in Florence.
You one of us.
I am one. I bled in PD.
We claim you.
I bled in PD.
Let's talk about
but we've let that division
Lord,
cause tension between us
1,000%.
that shouldn't be there.
Let's talk about your dad was the superintendent of the Home for Children.
He was.
The Home for Children has changed through the years. It is a completely different. I'll say this, so Jerry doesn't have to say the thing. It is a completely different ministry now than what my dad supported back in the 80s.
Yeah. Let me talk. Let me talk. Where am I going to start? It is a completely different ministry because the government of South Carolina has changed how agencies can take care of children.
For sure. Yeah, not
nobody
us
had a vision to.
Right. No, it's not us saying we don't want to.
Exactly
it was
right.
The state government officials. They said we've got to do
has
some things
said this is the way care of children has to take place.
And it's tweaked a little bit even in the last, I don't know,
well, it changes
10,
with every governor.
It feels like
it changes with every governor.
So
when my dad was there in the 90s, my dad left Elmwood and went and became the superintendent of the home. So when he was there in the 90s, it was mostly private placement children. You had some children that came in through DSS, but
private placement meaning my wife and I have a kid. We're Church of God. We can't handle it. Can you take my
pastors would call. I got a family here. So you had that. Now you did have some DSS kids there, but they didn't get the money they're getting from the state now.
Right.
So, and I remember I would come into Dad's, he lived in the superintendent's home, and I would come in there at night, and he would be cutting labels from soup cans because he would get 2 cents a label And he would sit there all night just cutting labels, whatever he had to do to raise money, because you didn't have that government money. Mm-hmm. The government changed the parameters of how you can care for children, so much so that most of the group homes in the state closed.
Yeah.
Miracle Hill, which was one of the premier miracle homes, premier group homes, they closed because they have a group home. You have to have full-time security. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You have to have full-time medical staff.
Wow.
The requirements of
and we don't have either one of those.
We don't have either one of those.
Yeah.
And of course, they drove everyone to the foster care system. Now, you were in the council. Brother Kearns would come and tell us they're driving us to foster care. This is coming.
This is the future. Yeah.
The future will be foster care children across the state.
Throughout the state, right.
And so it's just getting there.
We will almost have homes for children rather than a home for children, and we'll have a office that facilitates all of these decisions.
I would suspect that that's probably the future.
Not because we don't love kids, not because we're not fulfilling the
Well, it's actually a greater opportunity.
Right. Right.
It's actually a great, if you have one central place, you can only have so many children.
Right.
But if we are, as Brother Kearns mentioned years ago, if we are going out into the state developing foster care in every church, you could have foster care child.
Kudos to Brother Kearns for leading this charge.
Yeah, he talked about that for years. Now, we never got from point A to point B.
Right.
But we see the inevitability of it. Yeah, this is the future of this type care. And again, we just have to kind of cut some heartstrings of we've always driven by and there it's been, but the state just doesn't. If we can only have 5 foster children per house by state.
Wow.
So the most we could have on that property is 15 kids.
Before it turns into a group home where you have to have full-time security and full-time nurse and all that sort of stuff.
15 would be the most because you got 4 homes. One of them's not that's superintendent tagged home. Yeah. So you got 3. So the most you could have would be 15 kids at a time. So the government's changed it, and we just have to adapt to it. But it's an opportunity.
Opportunity, right?
I mean, think about you have one little piece of property there that has 15 kids, or you go into every church and you develop foster children among Church of God people, and you have 400 kids across the state.
Let's say you traveled 30 weekends a year to go present this vision, not you, Brother Kern. Traveled 30 weekends a year to go present this vision into 30 churches each year and picked up one foster care parent inside of half the churches you go to. In 1 year, you're back. You're ministering. You're doubled, right?
You're doubled. But the reality that in giving foster care, you get money from the government. But if we continue like the 120 Club, the Church of God could create in South Carolina a foster care network where we're giving you a supplement as well.
How beautiful.
And they are coming to Church of God churches, and all of a sudden, I think there's 4,000 foster kids in the state. If we had 400, the overseer mentioned this, a tithe.
Yeah.
If a tithe of that was in Church of God homes all across the state, who can argue with that?
How beautiful.
Who can argue going from 15 to 400? You would have many people in your church that would, I think, as we would, I could do foster care. I could do that. And it's a win-win.
It's beautiful.
It's a win-win. So that's one of the concepts we're talking about, and have had some conversations, and we'll continue to have.
So I know you made let's just continue working through this journey. I know you said something on a podcast previously. We made a little bit of fun about the youth director role. Your brother is in Cleveland now. We're in his portfolio.
Let's clarify. The director, not the current director.
Not
the state position.
Correct. Yeah, not our current youth director.
Or former.
Or any of them, yeah. Just the role.
Yeah.
Your brother in his portfolio is the youth department.
Yeah.
Did he call you and say, Jerry, what are you doing?
No. He'll text me if he's mad at me.
Did he text you and say, Jerry, what are you doing?
No.
So do you want to reestablish
I'm not going to
your...
speak for him, but I didn't hear from him.
Do you want to reestablish your position here, or do you?
I'll be glad to. I think
or did your position change since that conversation?
No. My position hadn't changed.
Yeah.
State youth director is a position that was created in the 60s.
Yeah.
And was needed and was valid, but where we are today, in some states. Now, if you go back and listen to my podcast,
you did say in some
I've
states.
been misquoted. If you go back and listen, in some states, it's a position that's really no longer needed.
Yeah.
North Georgia, which is the largest state among Church of Gods, does not have a youth director per se as the system.
Yeah.
They have a non-tenured position, a man who oversees youth ministries along with other things. He oversees youth camps. He oversees teen talent. Everything a youth director does, he does that. He fulfills that role. But it's a non-tenured position, and it's one person. So the state.
So what else is in his portfolio besides youth ministry? Is he like church planting, church ministries guy?
Yeah.
He's all that stuff too?
Yeah. But with that also comes oversight of the legacy property, which is their youth camp property. So they've been able to develop a nice property because they have a non-tenured position.
Totally makes
someone
sense.
who's always there, who sees it through. When in the 60s, when the youth director position was created, most churches didn't have youth pastors.
Right.
They didn't have youth. They might have had a youth leader. So the position was created to provide corporate youth ministry across the state.
Yeah.
Every church we have now has someone leading youth.
Absolutely.
Whether they're on staff or part-time or volunteer, every church we have has that. So that demand is not what it was. Now, to have someone coordinate interactions between them, that's great. But, the programs we do, junior talent, teen talent, 3 weeks of youth camp, those aren't full-time necessarily.
So do you think we won't use Josh because or any previous guy, but
some states.
Freddie.
I think large states.
Do you think Freddie coming into South Carolina and we say to Freddie, hey, you can either stay a part of the system or you can be a non-tenured guy here like North Georgia. What do you think those guys would prefer? The youth, the people.
I would think the current youth directors would prefer it be left alone because it gives them a track.
Yeah.
And once you get in the system, that's the way our system works. Once you get in the system.
How did you never get in the system?
I have no interest in the system.
Because your brother's in the system.
I'm a pastor.
He's all the way at the top now.
He's a big deal.
He's a big deal.
I'm just a pastor.
Yeah.
The pastor is the best job, and it's not a job. It is your life.
Yeah.
And I counseled one young man who I won't mention his name. We both know him and love him. He was approached about going into the youth director system, and he was pastoring a very successful church. And I said, "Don't do it." And he said, "What?" I said, "Don't." And he said, "Well, they're making me promises." I said, "Here's the problem: the people making you the promises today aren't going to be driving the train when it comes time to cash in the promises."
Yeah.
You're at a great church. You're doing a great job. They love you. And I'm sure there's days he wishes he had listened. There's probably he's been very successful.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
so don't anything. So that doesn't appeal to me. For my life to be in the hands of
early
that.
On.
Hey guys, we're going to take a break right there from the conversation with Pastor Jerry Madden and Pastor Jamie Barfield. Hope you guys are enjoying the discussion that they're having. Pastor Jamie's got a lot of energy, and he's a fun guy to be around. Don't forget, the Shepherds Gathering Conference is coming up April 27, 28, 29. I know we keep hammering on that. We need you to sign up. You can sign up. So take 2 minutes, come over. It's $75 for the conference. It covers your meals and a special gift from us. So we're not making anything from this. We're just trying to get you fed and get you in a place where you can listen from great speakers and great leaders like Dr. Mark Rutland, Dr. Mark Williams, Chris Kilgore, Neil Nolan, Pastor Jerry Madden, and a host of other pastors that will be around that you can listen to and learn from. So make sure you sign up for that today. Tune in next week. We'll pick up the conversation with Pastor Jamie Barfield and Pastor Jerry Madden. We look forward to seeing you guys on next Monday.